Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the Manc Talk. We are live and we are with my friend Big Steve. And you know what? It feels a little bit different. It feels like
Never
today,
seen you
Steve.
smile, mate. I've never seen you smile so big.
Nah, because you know why? I just want to tell you that today's your therapy day. Today, I'm going to be telling you that, you know what? Don't worry, Steve. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. And you're going to have to tell me all your problems and all your worries. I know you've got the treble behind you, but this season feels a little bit different. And you lot are no wins in four, which is absolutely mad. But Steve, I know you were there. Big up to you. You just come back today, this morning. How you feeling, first and foremost? Big up to you, Manc Talk as well. Like the video, people.
Yeah, man, it was bad. It was bad. The Aston Villa were brilliant. They were absolutely brilliant. There's no excuses. We were just bad. But I don't even want to take it away from them and say we were bad. We wasn't. They were better than us.
Yeah.
So, they wanted it more. They chased it more. We were hanging on all game. We were just poor. Don't know whether we look tired. I mean, I was talking to a guy outside the ground, an old fella, and he said, think what we've done in the last 3 years. We've won the Premier League 3 times on the trot. We just won a treble. He went, maybe they're tired. And I was like, we don't think of that as footballers. We think, we just got to keep on rolling and that. But to me, it was just, you've got 6 defenders starting. Why? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got players, you've got £80 million centre back playing left back. You've got Akanji and Stones going into midfield. You've got Rico Lewis, who's a young kid running around in there. You've switched Foden, who's been playing on the right, now he's playing on the left. Bernardo's on the right, then he comes in the middle. Haaland's not getting any service. It just looked terrible. And I mean terrible. He's bought 3 midfielders, yeah? Kovacic, Nunes and Phillips. And he doesn't trust one of them to start. And we've got that many injuries, not one of them started. So that tells me he's dropped 3 bollocks there. And I'm thinking, right. And then, okay, yeah, Rodri didn't play. We know what happens when Rodri didn't play. Rodri's played 40 games and we've not lost. And he's missed 4 and we've lost all 4. It's fucking embarrassing. But I don't know. Listen, we didn't deserve anything. So Pep's got to go back to the drawing board and he's got to get it right. The only saving grace is, listen, if Rodri, Grealish, Doku and Kevin De Bruyne play that game, it's a different game.
No, of course. So, that's the whole point.
This is what I'm saying. We at least we know that they're coming back. It's not like this is the team we're stuck with and we ain't got no one else. You know what I mean? But it's worrying that people who are uneducated at football, who listen to people on Sky Sports, always say Manchester City have got a massive squad and you've got players in every position. It's always been lies. We've got the smallest squad in the Premier League. It's a fact. Let me read this team to you from last night, yeah? Ederson, Walker, Diaz, Akanji, Guardiola, Stones, Lewis. That's your 2 midfield and your back 4. You've got 2 defenders in midfield. Alvarez playing in a 10. He's not a 10. Silva, Haaland, Foden. Here's the bench for you, yeah? Biggest squad in the league. Yeah? Sergio Gomez, Oscar Bob, Ariel Ortega, Scott Carson, Phillips, Ake, Kovacic, and Nunes. Now tell me, out of all them, which one of them players can come on and change the fucking game for the positive? They're all defensive midfielders.
Yeah, that's where you've gone wrong. Yeah, so, you've gone wrong in them. The bench is listen. People are going to say, oh, but you know what? It's still a lot of money. Like Nunes was a lot of money, 60-odd million. Kovacic was 30-odd million. But the problem is, though, you haven't replaced Gundogan and Mahrez. And who else is also left? Is that 2? They've only left. You've left them 12. You have not replaced them.
Laporte.
Yeah, Laporte, yeah, but obviously he's a defender.
In the last 2 years, in the last 2 years, we've lost Raheem Sterling, Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko, Gundogan, Mahrez, Laporte, right? In the last 2 seasons. That's a lot of players. And even if a lot of them didn't play, them in and around the squad makes us stronger. You look at our bench now compared to the bench last season. Last season, you're looking at our bench, and the bench was better than the fucking first team sometimes. You look at this now, and you think, right, okay, if Calvin Phillips cannot get a game when we've got all them injuries, and he'd
Oh my God.
and Rico Lewis in midfield.
Yeah.
Bad. And he cost 50 million, by the way. 50 million.
Yep.
So yeah. Listen, but do you know what? I can handle getting beat, me. If we go anywhere and we get beat by a better football team, no problem. I don't mind it. Football's football. And if they turn up and beat you, fair play. But I can't deal with people with no heart and like giving up. That Nunes comes on, starts backheeling it in the box and that. We're playing defensive all game, knocking it around at the back. We had 2 shots, right? Yeah. It's the lowest in 500 games of Pep Guardiola. 2. Do you know when the second shot was? The 11th minute. We didn't have a shot for 80 minutes.
I've not seen it. You had 2 shots.
22,
and they battered you. How many shots did they have?
22 they had. That's the highest if anyone's ever had against us in 500 odd games.
Wow.
So
wow.
Pep can say, the levels with this, the levels with that. But don't forget, we've lost the Charity Shield. We lost to Newcastle. We lost 2 in the bounce in the league. Then we've now drawn 3 in the bounce in the league, and then we've lost again. But this just shows you, right, how mad the Premier League is. Because we're still 6 points off the top. And we've done all that.
But then, and I know what's mad, yeah? People are getting on to me saying, we're 3 points behind you. But I don't want to look at the table. The table is crazy right now. Like, I'm not doing this anymore where, but, and this is where I got onto United fans. It's like, don't get too gassed. Relax yourselves, man. This is what Pep Guardiola does. He gives people an inch, and then later on, he goes in full throttle, and he goes in mad.
It's literally like last season, again, where everyone's having a meltdown, and then.
But the problem is, though, you haven't got Mahrez and Gundogan to come in, though. That's a problem. Exactly. I feel like now it's different a little bit, because now, if you don't spend in January, City have to spend in January. If you don't,
they've got £400 million fucking transfer kitty burning hole in his pocket. But who do you get in January? If you go and get Paqueta, okay, fine. That number 10 that we need. But we've already got a number 10 at the club that can play Paqueta's role in Jack Grealish. Don't play Grealish on the left, play Doku on the left, play Grealish in the 10. Let Grealish play in the middle of the park like he did at Aston Villa. Go left, go right, do what he wants. Simple. He's there. He's crying out for Jack Grealish in the centre of the park. But he won't do it. Because it's just the way he is. And it happens with all great managers. We love him. Ferguson was the same, but sometimes he's stubborn. You look at United after the treble. Schmeichel got off. Yap Stam.
Yeah.
All started to go. It didn't go. It don't go the same. What we've done as a club, the levels are so high. But last night was just boring. It was boring. We didn't look like scoring. The Villa were getting in our faces. We were making mistakes. We were giving them the ball. We were passing it to them. If it wasn't for Ederson making some great saves, and if it wasn't for Bernardo Silva running his nuts off, it could have been like 4 or 5. Do you know what I mean? And he don't get any. We're going to Luton on Sunday. Luton are just going to think, fuck it, let's get in the face, let's have a bit of a tear up and that. And half of them on that pitch don't want to tear up now. Guardiola, for the size of him, again, making mistakes. But I feel a bit for him. He's not a fucking left-back. You've bought him to be a centre-back. You're playing him left-back.
Well, he's not ready, though, for centre-back, apparently. Guardiola says he's not ready for centre-back now. So what is he? You spent 100 million on him.
He's definitely ready for centre-back. When you're centre-back, you've got people either side of you to cover you. When you're left-back and you're up against Leon Bailey, who's rapid, you're exposed to fuck. Especially when one of your centre-backs steps into midfield and leaves you in a back three. So you're just going to get legged all over. This is the problem with him. But he's trying to play Alvarez in the 10. It doesn't work. So when you've got Alvarez in the 10, you're a midfielder light. So the midfield area needs somebody in there. So he's putting a centre-back in there. But when you put a centre-back in there, your back four becomes a free and it's fucking all over the place. So it was just one of them things. Villa are doing all right. They won at home. But
bro, fair play to Unai Emery. Like, a lot of people talked a lot of talk about Unai Emery, but good manager, man. He's got his. You know what I feel like now? He's got his own team now. Like at Arsenal, maybe there were certain situations, maybe he didn't want certain players involved and etc. etc. But now I feel like he's got his own kind of identity at now Villa, and he's loving life, man. And when I was watching the game, I was like, I was sat next to Rachel, and she was like, City are 1-0 down. I was like, nah, they'll get back. They'll get back. But then I heard when I watched the game back, you got peppered. I'm like, is this Man City that I'm watching here? Is this actually Man City that I'm watching right now? Like, I couldn't believe it. Like I said to you,
Nunes go in the box. He did this back earlier, and off the camera,
Yeah.
Haaland ran up to him and went, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he was just looking at him like he was dumb. And Haaland was going, "Fucking get the ball in the box." And it's like the amount of times we got down the wing to cross it, and it ended up back at Edison. So we're on the edge of their box, and 2 seconds later, Edison's got it. It's like, it's weird. It's weird. You see Arsenal the other night against Luton, they just went long. Just get it in the box. Get it in the box. They're throwing it in the box. They got Declan Rice on the end of it. We've got one of the best strikers in the world. He's definitely getting on the end. If you throw 10 in the box, he's getting on the end of 6. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. He's got to sort himself out. He can't be too stubborn. You know, and listen, you've got if you're putting in a performance like that, you've got to criticise them, because we blow smoke up their arse all the time. We tell them how good they are, and we're always waxing lyrical. But when they let you down like that, you've got to tell them, you know, it's not right. And people saying to me, "Oh, you won the treble. You can't say that." I can say what the fuck I want. I pay my money every week to go and watch Manchester City. When they're good, I tell everyone in the world how good they are. When they're bad, I'm entitled to tell people they're bad. I'm not getting on pleas cases because we don't panic. We're not panicking. But what we're saying is that level of performance is not good enough. Chelsea 4-4, yeah? Liverpool. I said on a TikTok we let them off the hook. They all went, "No, you didn't let them off the hook." You think about it, we did. You're winning 4-3 at Chelsea with a minute to go. You give them a penalty, 4-4. You've let them off the hook. You're beating Liverpool 1-0. Liverpool never looked like scoring. They score 1-1. You've let them off the hook. And Tottenham, we're winning 3-2. Doesn't look like we're going to concede. 3-3. Let them off the hook. There's 6 points dropped. We've gone last night, dropped another 3. 9. That's what Arsenal did last year when they fucked the league. They dropped 9 points. We just done the same. So all these people that think, "Oh, City's going to kick into gear," well, yeah, they might do, but they might not. They might just carry on being up and down, and then it might just be.
It might be Arsenal's year. It might be Arsenal's year, because I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, let me tell you something, Steve. Yeah, you've got the World Cup coming up. Yeah, so you're going to be away for a couple of weeks. How many games do you miss in that period? Is it 2 games you miss? 2 or 3 games?
Yeah. Like I say, so they postponed a couple of games. Our next 2 games are Luton away and Palace at home. Now, we've got to get 6 points. We've got to get 6 points. Simple as that.
You must. And if you don't, like I said to you, Arsenal are going to get them little wins in there. And this is why I'm like, Arsenal, surely you can't cock it up now, man. Surely you can't mess up. When you create a buffer.
Arsenal's learned a lesson. Arteta learned a lesson, and the players learned a lesson. Don't get too carried away. The fans have learned a lesson a little bit. You know, you still get the ones that go a bit mad. You still get the ones that don't. But they've got a point to prove. Last season would have hurt them. It hurt the Arsenal fans and it hurt the team. So you want a reaction. So they're getting a reaction. Liverpool have been going about their business quietly. End of last season started to put the run together. So they fancy it. We've just been non-stop for fucking 4 years. Now, if we don't win anything this season, it is what it is. You're going to get a drop-off. You don't get team. No team in history has won 4 titles on the trot. Right?
No.
So at the end of the day,
got a bit rattled though, man. Pep and Carragher, you know, he was adamant. Pep was like, "I'm going to win this year. Don't worry." Like, he's going to win it.
Expect him to say he ain't going to come out and say he's going to lose it, is he? When he's won 3 on the bounce, he's got to say that. He's got to say that. You know, he said, "If you ask me today, I'm going to think we're going to win the league." Imagine if you said to Arteta and went, "Are you going to win the league?" And he went, "I don't think we're going to win it." No, everyone to go mad. So it is what it is.
Yeah, true.
But
Pep only said he's not ready for the
transitional period. If this is a transitional period and we have to take one on the chin and regroup, so be it.
German Chicken Wing says Pep said he's not ready for the Stones role. I think does he mean someone else there? I don't know who he means in that role. Gvardiol, okay, yeah. No, you can't do that. He's never ready for that one. Obviously, some people are saying here Manchester City are Rodri FC. Let me ask you a question. Who's more important to this team, Rodri or De Bruyne?
Well, we've not had De Bruyne all season, so Rodri's more important because of the way we play. But if you're looking at creativity-wise, If you took Gundogan and Mahrez out your team, you're taking 15 goals, you're taking fucking 20 assists.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
De Bruyne coming out, it's not the same. It's just not the same dynamic going forward. Like last night, City's always been one of these teams where you think, oh, if they need a goal, they can bring him on, or they can change this and make it more attacking. Last night, we couldn't do it. We had to bring Oscar Bob on, who's not ready. Not ready at all.
Bro, that's
It's
crazy.
embarrassing, man. It's
Oscar Bob.
embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Oscar Bob, you know. That's crazy, man. Now, that's actually genuinely is wild, man. You get me? Now, no disrespect to him and that, yeah. But, you know, people say Rodri, people are saying KDB, Rodri. A lot of Rodris, you know. KDB's in there as well.
If you play 44 games with Rodri, he plays 40 and you don't get beat, and then he doesn't play in 4 and you lose all 4. There's your answer.
Yeah, 100%, man. But, you know, has Pep Guardiola, by the way, ever gone 4 games without a win or something? Is this the first time you've not won in 4, Steve? Is this,
I think so.
obviously,
There's some stat with it. It is, listen, it's mad. It's just a mad one because it's like you draw against Chelsea, you draw against Liverpool, you draw against Tottenham. On paper, that looks okay, but it's not really. You could have lost 2 of them games and won 1 and got the same points. So it's like, it's weird. That's why we needed to win last night. Win last night, you're 3 behind, and you're still on the coattails, 6 behind now. You've got this World Cup coming up. It could be a madness, and this is what I'm saying. You don't want to... The season we let Liverpool go, they ran away with it because they got too far in front. Nobody could catch them.
Liverpool as well, man. We're not talking about Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool are in here.
On the overlap.
The table here.
I said Liverpool on the overlap, me, and everyone laughed.
Yeah.
Carragher laughed and said they can't do it because they didn't have the midfield.
Yeah, here's the table. Arsenal 36 points, Liverpool 34, Aston Villa 32, Manchester City there on 30 points, man. That is a top 4 for you there, man. That's bro, it's crazy, man. This league, man, it's absolutely bonkers. Right now, you can't really judge it. I always say to people, you always judge it around about January time, February, when it kind of looks like it's like spacing up right now. When you look at it, it's 10 points from top 8 to first. There's only 11 points that's separating the two, man. You know what I'm trying to say to you? Obviously, we're looking like we're obviously right now we're 3 points behind you, but bro, listen, I'm not taking any of that right now because I said this to United fans before. You would get too giddy, and the next thing you know, we're 6.7 points behind him. So, but like I said to you, Villa for me need their plaudits. Do you think Villa they've got a right manager? What did you see from them yesterday that you thought, wow, like they're serious, man? They're serious.
Listen, they've won 13 on the bounce at home, 14 now. So that means that they're turning Villa Park into a bit of a fortress. But they just worked hard all over the pitch. And what they didn't do is they didn't get dragged into pressing City. They let us have the ball at the back because they knew that if John Stones, Diaz and Akanji are playing it at the back, they're not going to get... None of them players can hurt you from there. None of them players are going to pass that ball into midfield. If you've got Rodri in midfield... They have to press because Rodri drops deep, gets the ball and starts doing things. We didn't do that last night. Every time the ball went into Rico Lewis, he got knocked off the ball. Or if it went into a Akanji in midfield, they give it away. It was just sloppy, and that's when they knew. But they didn't panic. Emery was up and down the touchline like a lunatic. He was pulling them all in, telling them where to go. And then you've got like Leon Bailey and the pace and things like that, and Watkins, and they're not frightened to use a long ball. They put the ball over Guardiola's head a few times, made him turn, get Leon Bailey in and around him with pace. But it was a lack of challenges, 50-50s they were winning. You know, they were leaving Diaz exposed, and I just think we didn't want it. We didn't want it. I think a lot of them players, some of them knew that with the lineup they had, they couldn't do it. And Haaland was just running around. Haaland didn't even have a bad game. He was coming deep, laying it off. He never lost the ball. But you can't have one of the best strikers in the world and have nothing behind him to feed him. It just doesn't make sense to me.
That's what I'm trying to say. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, and I feel like right now, look at Traps is in the chat as well, man. Big up to Trap Rodri SC. Now, you know what, man? This is where it's for me. It's commendable that people are saying that because Rodri doesn't probably get his due praise and whatnot. But for me, it's frightening, man. The way he controls that midfield is unbelievable. But you lot, January, are you lot trying to say that? What do you need in January? If you were to say right now, what do you lot need in January to kind of move up? What would you say if you had a budget right now and I gave you, let's say, 150 million to spend in January? What would you spend it on?
For me, I would go and get there's two options. You either accept that Jack Grealish is a number 10, bring him in the 10 role, so then you don't have to buy a 10. Go and buy another winger to play with Doku and have Jack in the middle. Or if he's going to keep Grealish out wide, we need a number 10. Paqueta at West Ham, great player. Got this scandal.
That was the one he should have bought, man. Instead of that flipping Nunes, should have got Paqueta, man.
He had this betting thing over him, though, didn't he? And
I know. But all of a sudden, that's disappeared now, innit? It's disappeared. Disappeared, this betting thing. So, I don't know.
You're not going to get him in January. You're going to have some daft money. What happens in January, you leave yourself exposed. If Man City is shopping in January, they know there's a bollock been dropped. End of story, because we never shop in January. And other than that, it's Calvin Phillips has got to go somewhere else because he can't get in this team. So he's got to go. So we need somebody else in there. But for me, they've got to get someone. They can't just panic buy though, because if you ideally in the summer we've got to be going for someone like Musiala or someone. We've got to be going big money for him. But if you buy someone in January, it's only going to be a stopgap. And that's
the problem. You don't want to be doing stopgaps, man. You don't want to be doing stopgaps, mate. That's the problem. So, listen, man, I can't lie to you. This is crazy. Me as a United fan, here, therapy for Man City. The start of the year, this was therapy for me. But now, obviously, it still could be therapy for United. I mean, you don't know what's going to happen. But the fact that City have not won in 4, I'm just kind of, I'm baffled. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, what is going on? And I get it. De Bruyne is out and they lost a few players and whatnot, but it just shows even Pep Guardiola is human, you know what I mean, and whatnot. But yeah, man, it's funny, man. Like I said to you, man, it's a crazy, crazy end to the season, man. But listen, people, there's 1.2K in the building. Make sure you're liking the video, man. This is the first time we've had the Manc Talk back on the channel, so make sure you guys support the channel. Make sure you head over to Big Steve. I'm sure he's got a match reaction coming up later on or whatever, so make sure you tune in for that one as well. But listen, United. Listen, I don't know if you watched the game back here, but we absolutely battered Chelsea. And listen, Matisse, Carefree Lewis, and all these lot, have been running their mouth about we must beat United. We've got to beat United. They're rubbish, this and that. I said, hold on a minute. Do you know where you are? You lot are in the league. Do you know where you lot are in the league, by the way? You know what I'm trying to say to you? Do you know where you guys are? I don't know where they are. Actually, you know what? Let me just check the table here. Are they back to 12th now? Yeah, they're 10th still. They're 10th in the league, These lot are so bad, Steve. I'm not even lying to you. I watched them up close here, and they are clueless. They can't play off on the back. They can't do anything. We battered them. Sorry?
We drew 4-all with them.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I don't get it, man. I'm baffled. You know what I'm trying to say to you? But we that scoreline was 2-1. It should have been 4-5-1, mate. That's the only disappointment I have in that game, is that game did not reflect the scoreline. It was a battering. McTominay should have had a hat-trick. Amrabat, who again, I get onto you and I get onto people like, what's it called? What's his name? These lot, I told people, relax yourselves. Amrabat needs to take time. He destroyed their midfield. Enzo Fernandez, 100 and what? How many did he cost? How much did Enzo Fernandez cost?
Mate, people are getting on to fucking Calvin Phillips, mate. Calvin's not played. Get on to these boys, Sassedo and fucking Enzo and that.
Mate, I couldn't believe it, man. They spent all that money in midfield and they got nothing to show for it. Conor Gallagher's better than their midfield. I'm telling you, Conor Gallagher has been playing better than Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo, but they won't give him credit for some reason. So, boy, I don't know what's going on at Chelsea, but for us, it was a good win. But obviously, I don't know where it goes because Man United are always around the corner. Man United are always somewhere, the banter era or whatever's coming, it's all around the corner. That's why for me, my feet are on the ground. And like I said to you, man, we've done them over. People are saying 3 points behind City. I'm not really looking into that. But yeah, man. And then your friend Pochettino. Your old friend Pochettino, man. Listen. Pochettino.
Told you about him, didn't I, a long time ago?
2 years ago, you told them about it. You know what? If you watched the Manc Talk, you would have heard Steve say, there's 3 frauds in football. Bielsa, Tuchel, and Pochettino.
And Chelsea's had 2 of them.
Exactly. It is mad. absolutely mad, mate. Honestly, man, I genuinely, bro, I don't know, man.
Me
But
and Traps,
United,
me
Steve,
and Traps have had a bet
yeah,
as well.
what? Go on, what's the bet?
He's had Hoyland will get 20 goals this season in all comps.
Oh my
100,
God.
hey, £100, yeah. The Danish pastry. You know what I mean? This
I'm
is it.
I'm worried. I'm worried about him, man. I can't lie, man. Listen, you know what's mad, yeah? I tried to gas him up in it because I felt like for me, I owed a little bit to the Danish community. You know what I mean? You know me, I've got a bit of Danish in me. So I thought, you know what, let me rep their guy. And bro,
You are the
0
Somalian
goals in
Viking,
Premier
though, aren't you? You are the Somalian Viking. Remember that for the Euros, the Somali Viking.
Bro, listen, you know what it is with Hoyland? Sometimes, yeah, you've got to sniff these goals. You've got to be. I feel like his movement is not, for me, good enough right now. His movement needs to be better. I get it, he's scored in Champions League, but we could be out of the Champions League. But the pressure that he's got to go under now to score goals,
Perhaps he's relying on
I
him
don't.
scoring 4 against Wigan in the FA Cup. That's what he's relying on.
Wigan, you know, I'm telling you that it might have to be one of them where you. But it's a tough job being a Man United forward. It's a graveyard. Ronaldo's the last person to score, I think, double digits for Man United. Weghorst was a flop. Martial can't get into the team. You've got before that we had I don't even know Igalo. So that striker is a graveyard for any striker whatnot. But listen, I hope he performed because for me, time's ticking, man. I want to back you on that, but bro, you gotta be on it, man. It's difficult, man, being a striker. Like Ollie Watkins, all these guys, yeah, they're scoring goals now. So I don't know, man. Ten Hag needs to find a way to get him in, get him involved, man. He has to get him involved. The super chat says you mustn't forget which teams LFC have finished with away from home. Arsenal with far easier games. Yeah, but it always swings and roundabouts, isn't it? Every time it swings and roundabouts. LJ Brown says Saeed is nowhere near the mud. He's seen WB. What? He's seen WB, his
No
team, get
speech,
panned by Borough. Oh, lose to League Two side. This is a spa weekend or
yeah,
him.
people. Someone said
Now
to me on
listen, Steve's
TikTok.
hurting, man. Steve's
Someone,
hurting. Steve's
someone's
hurting,
like
man.
this on TikTok. Fucking. Oh, what happens if you get beat again? Who are you going to support? I'm like, are people mad? Are they mad? Do you know what I mean? I don't get them feelings anymore. The feelings from years ago were bad, man, because you knew there was no way out. This is just like, yeah, listen, when you're on top of the tree, everyone wants you to get beat. I respect it, but it is what it is, man. We've got to take it on the chin and deal with it. There's going to be a time where, in the future, where Man City won't be winning the league. They won't. They'll be fighting for top 4. They might not even get in top 4. There'll be a transitional period at the club where things won't always go happy. I know that, and that's what I'm trying to tell people. It's never in the history of football. It goes in roundabouts and
Never.
cycles.
Yeah, that's true.
So
That's true, you know.
it's just about
Never
maintaining
happened.
the levels. When Pep Guardiola goes, mate, it's going to be a tough fucking thing. And you know, all these Aston Villa fans getting giddy about Unai Emery. You better pray to God that Pep don't go in the next 2 years because City might come in and take him.
Ooh, damn. Nah, you know what? You're gonna get Deserving, man. Go get Deserving, man. He's a good manager.
This is what I told you about football management. You know, that goes in little 3 months windows. In 3 months' time, there'll be a manager that's doing well, and everyone will be talking about him. Remember Graham Potter, the next big thing, goes to Chelsea,
Yeah,
gets
true.
right? De Zerbi last season with Brighton, everyone's talking about him. They're getting their ass handed to him a couple of times now, Brighton. So no one's speaking about him anymore. Now they're speaking about Unai Emery. The thing is, when your manager loses his job, whoever's relevant in that time is the one that gets linked to the job. But people like City will have, we need to think of someone who's going to continue what Pep carried on. But Unai Emery at Manchester City, with fucking 400 million to spend, he ain't turning it down.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. Nah, big up to man. He's a Villa fan. He say Unai is here to stay. Nah, respect on him, man. Anyhow, him, you know what? They're doing their job, man. They're doing their job, 100%, man.
If I'm Newcastle, and Eddie and they don't win anything end of the season, I sack Eddie Howe and I go and get Unai Emery from Villa. And people will say, "Oh, well, why is he going to leave Villa to go to Newcastle?" Trust me, when that Saudi fucking pot hits the fucking bank, he'll be leaving.
Oh man, Eddie Howe's a good manager, man. Like I don't see why Newcastle can't be successful with Eddie Howe. Why can't they build something with Eddie Howe? I get it; they might not win anything and whatnot maybe this season and whatnot, but I still think for me he's a good coach, man. I think they've got to give him patience. I think he's not like a Mark Hughes. I'm sorry, man. Him and Mark Hughes are nowhere near the same level. You know what I mean? I feel like for me, he's a manager who's got good principles. He's a good tactician. He's beaten a lot of big teams in the Premier League. Give him time, man. I feel like it's one of them. Obviously, if there's ever a moment to go and get a better manager and he's out there, let's say Zidane was available, then obviously I'm not saying that don't get him, but you know what I mean? If it's for players, for managers a little bit below his level, Eddie Howe's level, then maybe not. You know what I'm trying to say to you? It is what it is. Super chat here. By the way, there's 1.3k in the building, and I don't think we have 500 likes here. What's going on, people, man? You might are moving like Man City right now. You know what I mean? You're just doing like,
man.
Yeah. Yeah, man, get the likes up. Lishkit says, Steve, do you think the City fans booing versus Villa? I heard there was a few boos, but I don't know. Was that true?
Man. I was in the away and nobody booed. Nobody fucking
booed.
Why would you boo? Are people mad? It's just the press talking shit. Nobody booed, mate.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question, by the way, yeah? I want to talk about Rashford. You know, I don't know if you've seen it lately. Obviously, the media, whatnot, has been benched. Ten Hag's benched him. What do you make of Rashford? And obviously, I've got my own opinions about Rashford and whatnot, but do you think he's just an overrated footballer? Do you think he's a Manc born and bred and he loves the club and he's just misunderstood?
No.
Because obviously he's not getting City.
I think he's overrated. He always has been. He has one good season out of 4. He's not good enough to be an elite level striker. Last season, I was on a show and the show was entitled Marcus Rashford is world class. Right? And I went on that show.
Who said that?
I went on that show. I went on the fucking show and I said, are you taking the piss? And they were arguing, he's world class this and he's world class that. Stop talking out your ass, people. If he's world class, he'd be turning up week in, week out. He'd be dragging Man United to trophies. He'd be fucking smashing goals in left, right, and centre, kissing the badge and giving it all to Man United. I watched him the other week get on the train at Stockport and ignore 6 little kids who were fucking stood there waiting to sign a shirt. He walked past them all, right? Bruno Fernandes, fair play to him, stood there, signed. Lindelof, Garnacho, all stood there for the kids and signed autograph. He put his headphones on and walked past. That guy's a shithouse, and he's got no bottle. And he was walking around against Newcastle like he was playing walking football. Wondered why he got subbed. And then when he was on the bench, he was going, what the fuck am I doing here? Well, I tell you what, mate, fuck off, because that's what I'd do. Just sell him. You don't need him around the team. And the reason why Højlund ain't getting no fucking goals is because you got him playing on the left. He don't cross the ball, don't assist. He smashes the ball into people. He runs into people. He's like Roadrunner. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, for me, he's always been overrated. I don't rate Marcus Rashford. The longer you keep him in the team, it's better for everybody else because you've kept Martial 2-3 seasons too long. You've kept Rashford 2 seasons too long as well at the end of the day. But I believe if Sancho was in the team, he's better than Rashford. Put it that way.
Crazy, man. But listen, people know my opinion about Rashford, man. And yesterday, yeah, Garnacho again. I'm telling people,
he'll be coming for you again, Rashford, and his brother will be coming.
Well, yeah, exactly, man. You know what I mean? His entourage will be coming for me. But you know what? And then obviously Ian Wright might come for me as well. He's blocked me now, Ian Wright, man. Absolute coward, man. But you know what it is with me, yeah. I just look at it in a reality of Rashford ain't ever been that guy. It's just that I always said it, man. There's been players out there, Theo Walcott, you know, Aaron Lennon. These guys have been good footballers, but they've not played maybe at the level of what Rashford has done in terms of at a big club. Obviously, Arsenal are a big club on that, but Theo Walcott was at the similar levels. Theo Walcott scored goals. He was projected as that golden boy and never really made it. You know, there's been wingers, Aaron Lennon, that have been good wingers, but just humble yourself. I always said it with me. Rashford thinks he's Ronaldo. He thinks he's at that Mbappe level. You're not at that level. Just humble yourself, know what you are, and work towards that. If he knew I'm a kick and run down the line, I track back, I work hard, I'd be like, you know what? Fair enough. He's a humble kid. He knows what he's doing. I'll take that. But the fact that he thinks, you know what? I don't need to run around and track back, then that's on you.
Change, man. He probably needs to change, and United need to change. He might go somewhere. A manager might put his arm around him and fucking give him a new lease of life. He might go and have a great career. But at the minute, he's gone stale at Man United. And what you've got to identify especially if managers like Ten Hag, is if things are going stale with certain players, no matter if you love him or not, you've got to get rid of him out the door. City's always been pretty good at getting rid of players when the fans kick off about it. It's always worked out all right. This is probably the season now where we're looking at Gundogan and thinking, fucking hell, we maybe should have kept him. But Rashford, for me, that the other night, walking around, and then when he gets took off, they're lip reading him saying, "What the fuck am I doing here?" and all that, and you're like, mad.
Yeah, facts. Same Bias is in the building. He's saying, Big Steve are also winning the league. Rice. You know what? I want to give Rice his little credit, by the way. But yeah, same Bias also win the league. You know what's funny? Yeah, Arsenal, man. I just hope they don't go too far with it. Because I know Cecil was putting a shirt up of, them top of the league. I know there's good Arsenal fans out there, like Turkish, and there's a couple of people who are humble. You know what I mean? But yo, listen, Zayn Biassi, don't spoil it for yourself, man. Do not spoil it for yourself, mate. You know what I'm trying to say? So it is what it is. Big up to City HQ in here, man. He said, I agree. He thinks he's on Vinny's level. Yeah, 100%. That's the problem. You know what it is, Big Steve? Do you think players now just think that they're at that level, but they just don't want to kind of feel like they're not? You know what I mean? Like they just, I don't know, man. They just don't have that kind of sense of feeling.
If you're a Mancunian lad and you're playing for Man United and you love Man United, you've got a level of responsibility to turn up for that club week in, week out, give your best 100%, and conduct yourself well off the pitch and all that, right? When I see him on the pitch walking like he don't give a shit, tells me he don't give a shit. When I see him blanking young kids off the pitch, tells me he don't give a shit. So in my eyes, he don't give a shit. So I'm looking at him thinking, you don't want to be there. If somebody offered him more money or a luxury move, he'd be gone. But he's just not. Don't be fooled by this Marcus Rashford loves Man United nonsense, because I don't believe he does. I think Marcus Rashford loves himself.
100%. Big up to enjoy the banter before City wins 16 in a row. 16 in a row, that's never going to happen, mate. You know what I mean? So I don't know where you're going. He means 16 wins in a row. Yeah. Nah, can you really do that though this season? I don't know, man. If City can do that again, though,
I don't think we can do it this season, though. I think we're a bit up and down. This season's got similar to last season vibes. Come out of Forest last year, told everyone about it. Had the same feeling I had yesterday. Like fucking hell, they're making our.
So no sharks in this season.
The shark doesn't come out till Feb. People need to realise that. People were inboxing me in August when City lost a point saying the Shark's dead. And it's in August, mate. I told you, the Shark's basking till February. Talk to me in February about the Shark.
I see Paula says Arsenal do another premature. Wow, I'm never going to read that last bit, but you guys can see it there.
Mate, you know
these super chats, man, are just crazy, man. These super chats are crazy.
That's what they like. Listen, to be honest, for the neutral, the Premier League's looking crazy at the minute. So as far as the league goes, man. It's looking good.
Yeah, it's entertaining. It's entertaining, man. It's entertaining. Big up Matt Ross says, big up the likes and channel guys. So how do you think the Premier's catch up with City? Listen, I just think it's Arsenal's year. It has to be Arsenal's year. They've spent all that money. They've got a couple of City players in there. They've bought Declan Rice, who we'll talk about. Like, it is what it is. Like, Arsenal now, City have dropped off, and also Liverpool are in there. We haven't given Liverpool their credit. Before I go to Arsenal, Liverpool are going behind the radar, underneath the radar. And listen, shout out to Grizz, because he said it, but they are going underneath the radar. But, bro, like, Liverpool, you've always given respect to Liverpool, though, haven't you? You've always said Liverpool, don't disrespect Liverpool. They're always in around there. And fair play, man.
Overlap, and Carragher even went, no, they can't do it with that midfield. Even the Liverpool people said it, but I just know. It's, you know yourself, when you win a league, it's not all about the 11 on the pitch. It's about mentality around the club. And Liverpool have got it. When they get going and they start moving, the fans don't get too carried away and they just go for it. And they fell short so many times. I believe that Arsenal just need to follow the same suit. And I think after last season, I think they got their asses burnt. They didn't get enough banter for it, for what they were giving it, the way they were giving it. But listen, we'll see. I think it's going to be plenty of twists and turns. And City, sometimes City fans, we have this weird perverted mindset where we like fucking chasing down teams. We like to be behind because we know we've done it before. And it's sweeter when you It's sweeter when you're putting that pressure on teams and you see them wobbling and then you go and take them at the death.
Yeah,
When you're
yeah.
top of the league, you better believe the pressure's on, mate. When I've been top of the league and Liverpool's been hunting, it is hard work, mate. Let me tell you that. Every game, you're sweating. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
we'll see.
Facts, man. But now I wanted to talk about Declan Rice, man, because you must have been watching that Luton game thinking, yeah, it's gonna be a draw here. And Declan Rice, man. I think it's been one of the signings of the season. I think a lot of money, but I've rated Declan Rice for a long time, and he's a top player, man. And
Yeah,
I think for me, he's
they
added
really needed. They needed him. They needed Declan Rice. They went for him. They spent the money, 100 million quid, and he's made them a better team. This is what I was saying. They needed to be better than last season because last season they wasn't good enough. So they can't rely on City dropping off. They had to improve the squad, and they did do. And I think if they go out in January and sign a striker as well,
yeah,
that might just get them over the line, maybe. But I don't know who's about in January. If you get Ivan Toney, will he do it? I don't know. But sometimes you can upset the apple cart. Sometimes it's better to leave it as it is. But I don't know. Listen, they look well. They look good. And them last-minute winners are great. Luton Town, it's a good win for him, that. And like you say, that I remember him doing it last season. Villa Park, last minute, off the bar, onto the keeper's fucking head and went in. And they won it. And they said, that's what champions do and all that. They were saying the same overnight, but you got to see it through this time. You got to see it through.
No, 100%, man, 100%. And John Daly, yeah, big up, man. Listen, man, Toby, we'll have a chat tonight, man. But listen, Declan Rice has been clear of Basuma this season, man. There's no questions about that. Basuma can do whatever he wants and whatnot. But listen, Declan Rice has been absolutely excellent for Arsenal, and they needed that sort of leader in that midfield. You know what I mean? He's a leader. He's an absolute leader. You need them players that will galvanize the team and bring it forward. And you know what? Like, fair play to them, man. So I feel like it's one of them where you get with Arsenal, they just need to keep the momentum. They need to remain focused. That game of the weekend's going to be absolutely mad. You get me getting Villa. That's going to be a crazy game because if Villa win, I think they go, what is it? How many points behind them? So Villa might even see it as a game where, they go, what? Wow, 1 point behind them if they win. That's crazy.
Let me tell you this now. Let me tell you this. Arsenal will beat Villa.
Oh. Wow. You know what? I think Lee was saying it before. He said, I reckon it'll be Villa will either beat Man City or they'll lose to Thingy. It'll be one or the other. It won't be 2 wins.
Aston Villa last night played well. But let's not that was one of the worst performances I've seen from us in a long time. They beat us 1-0 with a deflected goal. Whether you've had 22 chances or not, they beat us 1-0 with a deflected goal. Arsenal will beat Aston Villa at weekend, 100%. Put your money on it.
Wow. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just thinking it depends on how much effort they put in Villa. Like they put on a lot of effort to beat Man City. You've got to be at your A game, running around all that. It's going to take its toll, you know. Against Arsenal versus Luton, they didn't need to run around. They had the majority of the ball, so it's not as if they're kind of like, you know, depleted in terms of their fatigue or whatnot. But Villa will be fatigued, and that's where it kind of comes at. So
we were giving the ball away last night to them. We were literally passing the
Villa
ball.
At home.
Yeah. They were running through. We were giving them the ball. We were letting them have the ball. We were just passing the ball. Arsenal won't do that. We had fucking gaps in our defence because our defenders were in midfield. Arsenal won't do that.
Yeah.
They've got Saliba and Gabriel. The midfield, Odegaard, Rice and all that will sit in there. They'll pass it about. Plus, they've got Martinelli on the left, Saka on the right, and Jesus up front. Arsenal beat them. I'm telling you now, Arsenal beat them. They're set up to beat them. Arsenal was set up like City was set up last year with 4 centre-backs. They had Kiwior, Saliba, Gabriel, and fucking Ben White. They're playing 4 centre-backs now, what Pep did last season. Arsenal are playing the same.
Yeah. Are you trying to say Arsenal's copying the City model? What you trying to say? Yeah.
Well, he does. Arteta does, don't he? He knows that. He does that. But that's what I'm saying. It looks good. Arsenal looks solid. So Arsenal's back 4 last night, yeah? I mean, their midfield, what was the midfield? Odegaard,
Havertz and Rice.
And Rice. Right, well, ours was Stones, Rico Lewis, and Alvarez. There you go.
Wow. Well, obviously, it's not the same, but I get what you're trying to say in terms of, the philosophy might be similar, but I don't think it depends. I don't know, man. I just think for me, Kivior, though, I don't know what Kivior is, though. I mean, Kivior, is he a left back? Is he a centre back?
He's a
You don't even know
centre
what
back.
he is.
He's a centre back, but he's playing him left back. But fair play. But when you play
Yeah,
when you play centre backs at full back, the first thought of the centre back's mind is
yeah,
defending. Right? Is defending. That's a
yeah,
fact. Right?
yeah,
So your natural movement on the pitch and positioning is to be ready for a counter attack and not really cross the halfway line. When you're playing a modern day fullback at fullback, the fucking tear assing up the pitch, the 3/4 of the length of the pitch, they lose the ball, they put you under pressure. That's why Nathan Ake at left back, Akanji at right back for me, Stones and Diaz in the middle. That back four won us the treble.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Arsenal
100%,
realising
100%, man.
Arsenal do not need overlapping fullbacks when you've got Saka in front of you on the right and Martinelli on the left. All you need is Kiwior to go, here, Martinelli, you do that. I'll defend. And then you need Ben White to go, they are. Saka, I'll defend. I know Ben White likes to go forward and that, but what I'm saying is Arsenal look a solid unit. Arsenal will win. Not draw, they will win on weekend.
Nah, it's gonna be another crazy weekend, man, of football, man. But this Premier League, man, there's a lot of games now, man. You know what I mean? Are the Premier League, like, with Man City squad, you got next two games and whatnot in between. But to be fair, you're already through for the Champions League, so you don't really need to play anyone in the Champions League. But you know what? It's gonna be a lot of games, man. You know what I mean? And whatnot. Like, it's gonna be quick turnovers. So you're gonna see more mad results. You get what I'm trying to say? So I can't lie, man. It's gonna be an interesting Premier League to the season. I think Tommy Yasu's injured. So he needs to come back and what? He's out for 6 weeks. That's a little bit of a blow for them. But nah, man, the Premier League's gonna be mad, man. I just feel like for me, it's one of them where I can't see City winning another league, man. I just honestly, Arsenal, just do your job. That's all I'm saying to you guys. Because we're not gonna win the league.
You'd
So you
rather
lot win the league.
Arsenal win the league. Listen to that.
Bro, what? I'm listening to you lot. I'm in
Yeah,
Stockport, mate.
you're used to it. You're used to City winning the
No,
league.
no, don't do that. Don't do that, Steve. Don't do that, Steve. I'm not used to it. It hurts me every single time. I have to walk around Stockport and listen to City fans tell me about how great they are and how lovely it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Arsenal.
the truth,
I didn't
mate.
know
I'm going
Premsy.
online every day listening to Don Robbie and all that, doing
I'll just
shit,
come.
dancing
Well, I'll
and
just
that.
come offline. I'll just come offline. You know what I mean? That's all I do. I'll just come offline. That's all I'll do. But listen. I've got family in that city. I've got everyone. Arsenal. I only know Premsy from Manchester. I only know. I think two more maybe at Messier. That is it. You lot can enjoy your social media. What I'll do is turn notifications off. That's all I'll do. You know what I mean? But for me, Man City winning 4, that's a record, Steve. That's a record. Nobody's done that before. You know what I'm trying to say to you? But yeah, for you, you'll be seeing Cecil dancing. You'll be seeing everyone in your face, in your DMs. But you just got to go away like I did. You got to go to Kenya. Go to Kenya or wherever you want to go in the world and just stay over there for
I'm going
for
to
6
see.
months.
I'm going to have to go to see the Sheikh in Abu Dhabi and have a chat with him about a few things if they
Yeah.
win the league.
Bro, I'm telling you, yeah. Seriously, man. You know what I mean? So it's a Mazzolini, man. I just think for me, it's a crazy weekend. So someone said, "Hey, you can't turn notifications off, Saeed." Yeah, I can, mate. You know what I mean? I can. You know? Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. You can't exactly. That's what I'm saying. When I'm in the gym, when I'm everywhere, I've seen you lot, and you're all coming at me, man. So it is what it is. Big up to Morton Pedersen. He says, Big Steve, don't you think it's important to finish away games in the first half of the season so the LFC only have Villa, Man United, West Ham? Second half is huge advantage. We don't lose many home games per season. What do you make of that, man?
Yeah, no, he's right. Liverpool are good at home. They know that. Listen, I think Liverpool and Arsenal are looking good at the minute. They're looking favourites for me. City have got to get Kevin back and get back in the old mojo. If we kick back into gear, we maybe got a chance. But Liverpool's home record, I said it last season, towards the end of the season, they were that far behind, they were never going to go near it. But they were good. So they've got no Champions League football. They're playing that in the Europa thing. I think their sort of fringe players could probably deal with most teams in that. Yeah, man, they've got a good chance. Don't forget, Arsenal's got Champions League late. When you start getting to that last 16, you're playing big games, big teams.
Yeah, That's when
gets a
they,
bit.
you know, now you're the big boys. Now you're the big boys, mate. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's crazy. It's crazy. I wanted to quickly touch on last 5-10 minutes or so. On the bottom of the league, Nottingham Forest got absolutely whacked. You know, they got destroyed. Forest, mate. You know what I mean? What do you make of that relegation zone, man? That relegation area zone. Sheffield got beat as well, new manager and whatnot.
I think Sheffield's gone. I think Burnley
Sheffield's
needs
gone,
to
yeah.
step it
Sheffield's
up,
gone.
and it needs to step it up.
Sheffield's gone.
I don't know. Forest, they reckon he might get sacked. He's only got one game left, apparently. I don't know why they want to do that, but you know, Everton have had their points deducted, but they'll get out of it. Luton might stay up with Kenilworth Road, being if you can turn that into a nightmare.
Yeah.
I'm fully expecting a nightmare, a weekend, long balls. If I'm the Luton manager and I watch City, I'm having a field day on Sunday, mate. I'm thinking like get in the face, rattle them up, just go for it. And I won't even, the ball would have snow on it. It'd be in the sky that much for me. I'd be just launching it right over Guardiola's head, get turning, twisting. That's all I'd be doing all game, putting it on fucking Akanji. And yeah, the only saving grace is Rodri's back and Grealish.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
This comment here, did you hear about Palace fans throwing bottles at Hodgson? I didn't see that. Did you hear about that? I didn't hear anything about that.
So
No, I didn't hear anything about that.
You know what? Not being funny, Roy Hodgson's had a fantastic managerial career, and he's an old fella now. And for me, I don't know why he stood in a dugout putting that much stress on himself. He's not been well.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need to do it. And I mean, and I'm going to call out Crystal Palace. Whoever's running Crystal Palace, why are you fucking giving Roy a job? Why are you putting him in there? Get a young, dynamic manager out of somewhere. Go and show a bit of ambition and get someone in for the future. Roy's past it, man. He's past it.
Yeah, he's past it, man. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I just think it's one of them, man. Yeah, no goals at home. Yeah, listen, man. It's crazy, man. You know what I mean? Palace, it's in a sticky situation, man. Your boy Company as well. I mean, difficult for him as well, man. I think they got playing tonight?
He's got a different... Vincent's got a different job. Vincent came up probably a season too early, playing great football. They've got here. He's not changing his philosophy. If they go down this season, they'll come back up again, and then the next time they come back up, there'll be a better side. There'll be more things. So getting rid of Vincent Kompany is not going to happen at Burnley. The fans love him. The chairman and all that love him. He's got a lot of power there. He's definitely not going to get rid of him.
Yeah. No, 100%, man. Burnley lost to Wolves. Yeah, I just seen that it was 1-0. But their player went off as well. Is it Kalosha? Kalosha, he's a good player, him, man.
Good player, yeah.
Very, very good player. But he came off, and if they need anything tonight, this soon, it's him. You know what I'm trying to say to you? Someone put a stat here saying Chelsea have lost more home Law League games in 2023-17 than they did in 2022 and 2021 combined. Wow, man. Chelsea, man. That's what I'm saying. Money doesn't solve everything, man. I know we spent $1 billion over 10 years. They spent $1 billion in a year, and they just don't look any better. Like that. Yo, listen, Matisse, all these lot, man. You got to go watch out for them, man. Everybody go look out for these guys.
Pochettino, yeah. He does brilliant with young players, apparently. He bought a fucking £1 billion worth of young players. Why aren't doing well? Apparently, you've got the master of young players. Apparently, he works well with young players. We'll see.
We'll see. But Luton, you're on there this weekend, Steve. Another trip for you as well, man. Long trip to Luton. Have you got? I make sure you get in the hotel next to the stadium, so you just come out of your hotel and you're right there.
Is there a hotel there?
I don't know. Apparently, some people are saying there's a hotel near the stadium. So
yeah, I was going to go and see Daps on Saturday night and then go to the game and then drive back Sunday. But I'm going to Saudi Arabia on the 18th. I'm not going to Belgrade now. I was pushing it a bit too much. Father Christmas is coming. The kids skinned me alive. And Dad can't just get off to Belgrade and then go to Saudi Arabia. But I've got my traditional Arab dress ready for Saudi. I've got my robes and all my gear ready.
Mate, that's going to go viral, man. That's going to go viral, mate.
I'm out there, mate. Wait till you see me. I'm out there. And the people I'm hanging around with in Saudi Arabia, mate, we've got fucking castles and Tigers and Lamborghinis and that. Fuck it. Sheikh Steve is landing in Saudi. And listen, I could be taking over a football club near you soon. I've got a consortium behind me now. And listen, just so all he's giving me shit in the chat, if you fucking carry on, I might just take over your team. and run it into the fucking ground.
Take over Arsenal, man. You know what I mean? And just help them out win the league, man. You know what I'm trying to say?
Someone said ask Grizz
But
to
nah,
sort it
man.
out. Nah, man, Grizz goes to like Afghanistan and that in the mountains shooting people, and I'm not doing none of that shit. I'm going over there with billionaires, mate. Billionaires. Grizz was eating tater ash in a cave last time I seen him. I ain't doing that, mate. I'm in the top restaurants, mate. You seen the pictures, innit, Saeed? He's in a cave, innit? You know what I mean? He ain't no palace. Don't let Grizz
Bro, no.
fool you with his fake pictures on
let him fool
Instagram, what
you.
he's doing, because they're not his pictures, mate. We know where Grizz was, and he was hiding. He was hiding in them caves, mate. We know that.
Hey, you're killing me, man. You're killing me, man. But now it's gonna be a good one, man. Like I said, we're in Bournemouth. Sorry, not in Bournemouth actually. We're in Manchester. We got a home game, Bournemouth. So hopefully 3 points there, man. But listen, people, man, the Manc Talk's been a good show, man. 1.3K still here, man. Been some very, very good numbers. First show back.
Just let me confirm it. There's no one's fell out with the Big Six. What was happening is to get the Manc Talk on the Big Six channel, there's a chain of command that you have to go through. And it's fucking hard work. So on the morning of the fucking stream, certain people were in meetings, people were out, didn't get the phone. Sometimes the stream was cancelled. We never knew what was doing. So we just decided, for the sake of the Manc Talk, we'll put it back on Saeed's channel. We'll get everyone across. You know what time we're starting. We'll let you know. And we're just going to keep it regular and not too complicated. If it starts to grow and gets bigger and bigger, then we might move back over there, start doing some in-productions. But at the minute, rather than have no Manc Talk, we thought you'd rather just have a weekly Manc Talk. So, yeah, it might not be in a studio. Yeah, it might not be an in-game production thing like the Derby one. But at least we're both here consistently every week, so you can give us shit. Simple as that.
Yeah. There you go, man. And like I said, this has been the therapy for Big Steve. So after the show's finished, I want you to help out Steve and give him some therapy and what do you call it? Any advice you would give him while he's down and whatnot. But Steve, it's been a pleasure. Big up to you for coming on. Are you doing anything later on with your own channel? Let me know.
I'm going to do a Villa match reaction later on. I'm going to do it. It'll be out probably about 6 o'clock.
There you go, people. There you go, man. Make sure you like the video. Listen, I'll be back later on with Traps. I know Traps is in the chat. I'll be back later on. Mandem Talk will be 6 o'clock tonight. So make sure you tune in for the Mandem Talk. And yeah, man, like I said, people, this has been the Manc Talk. We're out, people.